My name's Anthony, and in today's video, we're going to discuss the official launch of the new physically backed Bitcoin futures exchange that we've all been waiting for, Bakkt. We're about to break down the news surrounding this event, do some technical analysis on the Bitcoin price, and talk about a frightening new headline that surfaced today that crypto investors are faced with. But before we do this, I want to go ahead and thank all our new and returning subscribers and explain what it is that we do here on the channel. Crypto Ride is a growing YouTube community that helps you responsibly navigate the world of cryptocurrency through videos relating to news, technical analysis, and crypto project reviews. If you're passionate about incorporating speculative assets into your wealth building strategy, subscribe to our channel now in the bottom right corner of your screen. And now, let's talk about Bakkt. As I scan across the various cryptocurrency news sites, like this happens to be Coindesk, pretty much all the headlines are saying the same thing in that it was a slow first day for Bakkt. So we've been waiting on this product for a year, maybe over a year at this point. It finally goes live. Crypto investors are all excited, and then we have kind of this slow start. So let's talk a little bit more about this. Minutes after the launch, the first Bakkt futures contract changed hands at $10,115. The number of contracts in the first hour stood at just a total of 5. At the press time, 28 contracts have been traded with just one sub $10,000 price. The CEO and CIO of Singapore-based hedge fund 3 Arrows Capital isn't concerned though. His name is Su Zhu, and he made this tweet. Bakkt will be likely first a trickle and then a flood. The reality is that most regulated futures contracts get low adoption on day one simply because not all futures brokers are ready to clear it. Many people want to wait and see. The tickers are not even populated on risk systems, etc. So this is a fair point, and I just want to make this clear to everybody. Just because Bakkt didn't go off with a boom and send Bitcoin's price back into the stratosphere doesn't mean that this is a failure. And it doesn't mean that the markets are doomed to go lower, although we'll talk about why they could be headed down in the short term. Many observers believe Bakkt's physically settled futures are a game changer and could bring in more institutional volume. And one fact that you have to know about Bakkt is these contracts will be settled in physical Bitcoin. So the CME Bitcoin futures and the CBOE Bitcoin futures that launched back in 2017, they were settled in cash. So what some people are saying, and what I believe will also happen, is as people are getting the Bitcoin for their futures because it's settled that way, I think this will really help us lead to a true price discovery. And I personally think that's going to be bullish for the price long term, even though we saw this slow start. But this talked about what happened to the price when the CBOE was launched here. You saw a price go up, but then when the CME was launched, you actually saw the price go down. And this was actually at the height of the bull run back at the end of 2017, after a run-up, and I'm sure some of that price action was because of the announcement. It was a buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing where maybe some people started selling at that point. So interesting stuff. We need to be aware of it, and I just wanted to point this out to you guys. Sorry, the image is a little pixelated. That's just the way it shows up on the screen here. Next, I want to talk about how the launch affected the Bitcoin price. And if I zoom in right about here, you can see it says September 23rd. And this is the launch. So far, we've been going down. At the moment, Bitcoin price is right around $9,725. And I want to talk about where we're likely going in the future. Now, I'm going to zoom out to the daily chart here. And I want to talk about this descending triangle, which I've mentioned other times on this channel. But believe it or not, and I haven't done a Bitcoin update probably for about a week or two, we're still in the same descending triangle that we've been in since June 26th, since the end of June. So this really has been coming. As you can see, the sides of the triangle are really starting to converge and meet as you have this downward angle and the floor here. Now, basically what that means is the only room that we have left to play is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and extend this out. What this line is your major uptrend. So here's what I really need to point out, and I haven't seen any analysts really talk about this too much, but this is the main uptrend. So if the price were to break down lower, we only really have till about $9,000. If we break below 8,900, that's a really bad sign. So I think as investors, we have to be really vigilant in watching this and see what happens. If I'm telling you right now, if this line breaks, it could get ugly. So that would be the bearish scenario. But the other thing I want to point out, though, is even though the price has come down today, we still have this bottom line of our triangle intact. So really there's room to go down further before we could say the price has broken down. So the price could conceivably drop all the way to $9,400 before we break out of this thing. But if we go below this yellow line, look out, I'd say all bets are off, and we could be seeing that $7,000 Bitcoin. Here, I'll tell you right now, this is the measured move, right? If this breaks down, then we could be going to as low as about 6K. If we break out, which is also very possible, we don't have much higher to go before we break out. If we get above $10,300, which we've been at a lot over the last month or two, if we just get there, then we could be on our way to seeing a breakout. Of course, I'd want it to go higher to see a confirmation, but if we break out, well, then we could be looking at that same measured move, which is right here. Then we could be looking at $14,600 roughly if we were to break out right now. Of course, it wouldn't go in a straight line. It would move in waves, go up and down as prices do. But make no mistake about it, this has been very, very calm. And once this thing decides which way it's going to go, I think it could pop pretty hard and pretty fast. So I am watching, I'm waiting, I'm hoping to make a swing trade, but I don't want to purchase now in case this goes lower. I'm looking to go long, just in the spirit of transparency. I want to wait to see what this bottom is, and I'll make a separate video about that when the time comes. Lastly, I want to talk about this story. Google's quantum breakthrough won't destroy Bitcoin, not yet. So what the heck is this? This came out today, and it was talking all about how NASA leaked a document that Google made. It was erroneously updated before any peer review could take place. And the document itself was talking about quantum computing. So it says, a threat to Bitcoin. I want to go ahead and read this for everybody. Quantum computing has always been the chief innovation that threatens to break Bitcoin and its contemporaries. Currently, cryptographically secured public keys are the only safeguards standing in the way between users' funds and financial ruin. If quantum computers manage to crack the encryption afforded to distributed ledgers, then it would most likely spell the end of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, of course, is based on cryptography, right? So this was saying this supercomputer, this extremely powerful quantum computer, could potentially crack the code and be the end of Bitcoin. But it goes on to talk about Shor's algorithm, which is a calculation that enables the extraction of the private key from any public key. So it's saying if they see your public Bitcoin address, which of course everyone can see, that this algorithm, which I guess is a quantum algorithm, could actually get to the heart and see then your private keys. So this is scary. I think the timing of this is really curious. I think this might have been posted strategically on the day that Bakkt launched. This could be an example of market manipulation. And if you're new to cryptocurrency or to investing in general, sometimes there will be a piece of news put out strategically by larger companies or whales in this case, or anyone like large institutions that are looking to invest in an asset. I think this could be made here just to be FUD and just to scare some people away to see a price drop. So I wanted to mention this to everybody. And before I end this video, I just want to thank everybody for watching my 5 coins to 5 million recap from the Palm Beach Confidential event that took place last Wednesday. That video is getting a ton of views. I've been getting a ton of subscribers from it, and I just couldn't be happier. And I'm going to make it a point to cover Chainlink. I know that Chainlink was the featured coin. I know you guys know me, some of you, for my Chainlink videos, and I haven't made one in over a week now. But that is most definitely next up on my list. I just had to cover Bakkt today because that's the biggest thing happening in the space. So I wanted to get that out there for everybody. And now I have a question for you guys. And I want to know what you think of this article I just talked about. So in the comment sections below, let me know if you think this Google Quantum Breakthrough article was put out just to scare us. Do you think this is market manipulation? Or do you think it really is just a coincidence? What do you think? Also, let us know what your feelings are on the launch of Bakkt and where you think the Bitcoin price could go. Aside from that, enjoy the ride, and I'll see you in the next video.